I'm kinda tired. That's kind of expensive. It was kinda weird. Yeah, I kinda forgot. If you've ever listened to native speakers, you've probably heard the phrase kind of over and over again. But here's the interesting thing. Most of the time, when we say kind of, we're not talking about a type of something. We use kind of to make what we're saying softer, less direct, or less certain. It's one of those little conversational expressions that can make your English sound more natural. So today, let's look at how you can really use kind of.
Welcome to another Happy English podcast coming to you from New York City. And here's your English teacher, Michael.
All right, thank you, John, and thanks, everyone. It's Michael here from Happy English, and I help people speak English better. And this is Happy English Podcast, episode 1073, how you can really use kind of. And by the way, if you're enjoying learning English with me, make sure to follow or subscribe so you don't miss new episodes. Let's start with probably the most common use of kind of. We use kind of to soften adjectives. Instead of making a strong statement, we make it a little less direct. For example, imagine your friend asks, "Hey, how you feeling? You stayed up late last night, right?" Instead of saying, "I'm tired," you might say, "I'm kinda tired." That means you're somewhat tired, but maybe not exhausted. Here's another example. Imagine you're shopping for a new jacket. You like it, but then you look at the price tag. You might say, "Wow, that's kinda expensive." You're not saying it's outrageously expensive. You're just saying it's a little more expensive than you expected. Or maybe you try a new restaurant. The food isn't terrible, but it isn't amazing either. Later, your friend asks what you thought. You could say, "It was kinda good." That means it was pretty good, but you're not giving it a glowing review. And by the way, did you notice what I did there? We usually pronounce kind of as kinda. For example, "I'm kinda tired." That's kinda pricey. It was kinda good. That's the usual pronunciation. Keep in mind that in writing, especially formal or business writing, you should write kind of. But in everyday conversation, you'll hear kinda all the time. Next, let's look at how kinda softens opinions. Americans do this all the time because we prefer not to sound too direct. Imagine your coworker asks, "What do you think about the new company policy?" Instead of saying, "It's confusing," you might say, "It's kind of confusing." Or maybe you watch a movie with your friends and someone asks if you liked it. You could reply, "It was kinda weird." You're giving your opinion, but you're making it sound a little softer. Here's another example. Imagine your friend buys a bright orange shirt and asks, "Oh, what do you think of this shirt?" Instead of saying, "Ooh, it's ugly," you might say, "It's kinda different." That's a much gentler way to express your opinion. Next, let's talk about how we can use kind of with verbs. Imagine someone asks you, "Hey, you want to go to a concert this weekend?" You aren't completely sure, so you could say, "I kinda want to go." That means you do want to go, but maybe you're still thinking about it. Or your friend asks if you remember someone from high school. You could say, "Yeah, I kinda remember him." That means you remember a little, but not completely. Now here's another example. Imagine someone asks if you expected the ending of a movie. You could reply, "Yeah, I kinda expected it. That movie was a little predictable. You're saying you had some idea it would happen, but you weren't completely certain. We also use kind of when we're not completely sure about something. Like if someone asks you, hey, where is that new Chinese restaurant? You think you know, but you're not positive. You might say, I kind of know where it is. Or maybe someone asks you why your coworker left early. You could say, I kind of think he had a doctor appointment, but I'm not sure. In these situations, kind of tells the listener you're not really speaking with complete confidence. Now, let's talk about something that could be sometimes confusing. There's another expression that looks almost the same, a kind of. For example, you can say, a whale is a kind of mammal, or jazz is a kind of music, or a golden retriever is a kind of dog. Here, a kind of means a type of. Let's compare these two sentences. I'm kinda tired. This one means I'm somewhat tired or I'm a little tired. Jazz is a kind of music. This means jazz is a type of music. So these words look almost identical, but the meanings are completely different. The easiest way you can remember the difference is this. If you can replace it with somewhat, it's the conversational kinda. If you can replace it with a type of, then you're talking about categories. So here's the key idea. We often use kind of to soften what we're saying. It can soften an adjective, soften an opinion, soften a verb, or show that we're not completely certain. And when we say a kind of, well, we're talking about a type or category of something. They look almost the same, but they're used in completely different ways. So here's your challenge. This week, listen for kind of in movies, TV shows, YouTube videos, or in real conversations. You'll probably hear it much more often than you expect. Better yet, try using it yourself. Instead of saying, I'm tired, try saying, I'm kinda tired. Or instead of saying, it's expensive, try saying, it's kinda expensive. You'll sound much more natural when you do. And keep in mind, the best way to remember English like this and any other word or phrase is to take that word or phrase, write it in a sentence that's true for you or true in your world, and then memorize your sentences. Hey, thanks for listening. And remember, learning another language is not easy, but it's not impossible. And I'm here to help you on your journey.
This podcast was brought to you by Happy English. Please visit myhappyenglish.com. Show your support for Happy English by leaving us a review. Get English, get happy, Happy English.